So 2025 so far has been one of the craziest years that I can remember in my lifetime when it comes on to geopolitics. Starting with the year with the trade war, with Donald Trump taking on the entire world with this trade war and this disruption of global supply chain. And when you think that, look, things couldn't get worse and we are about to go back to normal, then I woke up this morning to this news.
The Air Force One replacement situation couldn't get any crazier. We have yet another development. According to sources speaking with ABC News, a Boeing 747-8 previously used by the royal family of Qatar will be made available for the American president to use. We'll take a look at the finer details of this report in today's video. The 747-8, previously used by the royal family of Qatar, will be a, quote, gift that is to be available for use by President Donald Trump as the new Air Force One. Usage will run all the way up until shortly before he leaves office. At that point, ownership of the plane will be transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation. This information comes from sources familiar with the proposed arrangement, speaking with ABC News. The gift is expected to be announced soon during Trump's visit to Qatar.
Yes, so when I woke up and saw the news, I was like, this must be a joke. Like, this must be like a distraction for something else, because there's no way on God's green earth that the President of the United States of America could accept such a huge gift. That is just common knowledge globally when it comes down to politics. You know, Caribbean and African countries have been criticized for corrupt leaders for decades. So I'm thinking that this is not possible. This must be like Donald Trump trolling. This is not possible. And how would Donald Trump explain this? And this is what he had to say.
The money we spend, the maintenance we spend on those planes to keep them tippy-top is astronomical. You wouldn't even believe it. So I think it's a great gesture from Qatar. I appreciate it very much. I would never be one to turn down that kind of an offer. I mean, I could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane. But I thought it was a great gesture.
Yes, so that was Donald Trump's explanation. So if you're wondering, what the hell does this have to do with Caribbean politics? Let me tell you. So last week, the end of the week, I sat and I looked at the leaders of the Eastern Caribbean island at the White House, walking a photo up, walking into the White House, lined up behind each other as if like they're some kids that are going to be scolded by the principal in the principal office. That was an embarrassing look to me. And that is the image that I ended last week looking at. And this was all because of things like the Cuban medical program, warning the Caribbean about the danger of doing business with China. That is the Donald Trump administration. The same Trump administration who stopped the Cuban medical program, who's trying to stop the Cuban medical program right across the entire Caribbean region with no care in the world. How many people could end up losing their life because they're not able to get proper medical attention? That is the same Donald Trump. The same Donald Trump that is telling a sovereign country in Trinidad and Tobago that you can't go ahead with this dragon deal with the Venezuelan government because the Venezuelan government, in the American eyes, they're not a legitimate government. The Cuban government, in the American eyes, they are not a legitimate government. Warning the entire region about the dangers of doing business with China. So the level of hypocrisy to look now and to see this president accepting a gift which everyone knows, that's like basic knowledge in politics. Do not accept gift from foreign governments. Do not accept gift even from local billionaires, local business. That is not how it works. You can't accept personal gift. I think America, in terms of American politics, have muddied the water so far in terms of campaign donation in the billions. But the thing is that you're not supposed to accept personal gift. Justin Trudeau accepted a gift from a friend, and I wouldn't say it was a gift. A friend a multimillionaire, Justin Trudeau went on his private plane with a friend and flew to Jamaica for a weekend vacation with his family, and he almost lost his job for that when he was Prime Minister of Canada. So it's common knowledge that you don't accept. And to see Donald Trump accepting allegedly a $400 million super plane, like, it is just mind-boggling to me. $400 million luxury aircraft to see, and not, this is not a gift to America. This is a gift to Donald Trump, because as in the report said that Donald Trump is going to use this instead of Air Force One, and at the end of his administration, the same plane is going to be donated to the Trump museum, and the Donald Trump is going to use this plane after leaving office for personal use, and that is crazy to me. And when we talk about where the gift is coming from now, the gift is coming from Qatar. Qatar just held free and fair election 5 years ago. That was their first election, I think, in the country's history. And to see that Donald Trump and just America in general, for over 60 years, we're telling the people of Cuba that we're not going to lift an embargo. We're putting an embargo on you. We're not going to trade with you, and we're going to tell our neighbors and your neighbors they can't do business with you because you're an illegitimate government. You're not allowing the people to vote. It's not a democracy. And to see Donald Trump now flying to the Middle East, to a region where there's no democracy, they don't have American values, as the Americans would say. In most of the places in the Middle East, women can't vote, women can't drive in a lot of these places, but Donald Trump is willing to accept gift from these places while scolding Caribbean leaders. And the Dragon deal in particular, a deal that would be very good for a Trinidad and Tobago now in terms of their oil and natural gas business. And just because of Donald Trump, that deal did not go through. And now to see Donald Trump accepting gift from a region, we would not say that they have so-called American values and that they are like a democracy, as the Americans would say. But the Trump administration, that is his first trip, going to the Middle East and accepting this expensive gift while the Caribbean is struggling, and while we saw the leaders of the Eastern Caribbean marching into the White House like they're going into the principal office to be schooled not to do business with China and not to do business with Cuba. So guys, sound off in the comment section and let me know, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that it's time that the Caribbean leaders push back on this level of hypocrisy? Because the Caribbean region, in terms of democracy, like even Cuba and Venezuela, women's rights in Cuba, women's right in Venezuela is way more, women are way more free to be able to do what they want to do, from as opposed to Qatar, where Donald Trump is accepting this gift. So just let me know how you feel about this in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.